wait, there's a few drops, John. You can have the can. The Pineapple Express, of course.
It's the backpacking beer adventure. Let's get hopping.
I'm alive. Barely. Yesterday was wild. It was 28 breweries was the final count. It's a lot of beer, but I managed to wake up today, and this is it. This is the finale. We're in it. I'm gonna go can nice one at Pono Brewing. Collab beer made for us. Super stoked. Can't wait to taste it. It's been a hell of a journey. Hell of a journey. We're getting through it. Beer.
Hey everyone, I'm Larry with Pono Brewing Company.
Hell yeah, season finale. Thanks for brewing this.
Cheers.
And it is delicious.
It is, thank you. Yeah, this is a great beer. It's, we were already trying to plan out a kind of like a hybrid IPA of between like a cold IPA, which is kind of a new style, and then a SoCal IPA. When came in contact with you, thanks to John Lovegrove, it was just a perfect fit, and the hops that you were wanting was already what we were kind of trying to plan on, or was in the planning stage of what we want to do. So it's turned out fantastic. The beer is super light, super clean, and we're calling it a summer IPA. I think it's turned out perfect. So
It's
yeah,
phenomenal.
Cheers.
Yeah. So you want to show me your space where all the
You got
magic
it. Let's show you where the
happens?
magic happens if you guys want to follow me. You know, you guys were already downstairs, so you saw the packaging line. You saw where the mill room is, where we actually mill everything, send it up via an auger. And so here at this brewery, we have it's a Newlands 3-vessel system. It's a workhorse, it's fantastic. There's actually several breweries that share the space. We are just one of them. Probably say it's a semi-automated system. There's still some, knobs and things that we have to turn. There's no guy sitting at a computer like on the big breweries that just clicks on a mouse to operate things. We still have to be up on the we still have to do the work here. This thing it's getting used, and it's actually going to be used even more so because we're going to be adding a third shift here soon as well. Just because of all the beer that's being made here with all the different breweries that are involved, the expansion going on next door, we just have to brew on this thing nonstop in order to fill the juggle. It is. It's definitely a logistics challenge, and I want to just, while on camera, just give props to Alan Taylor of Zogel House Brewing Company, because he definitely is the glue that helps hold this together, because I definitely am not that glue. I might be the guy that's coming apart actually sometimes, but thank you, Alan, on that. So it's a 10-barrel brew house. We double batch into 20-barrel fermenters, and the fermenters are a combination of Newlands fermenters as well as a company here locally in Portland. They're actually out in a suburb of Portland called in Tualatin, Oregon, and they're called Practical Fusion. The goal is to basically expand the footprint for all the breweries that are here. And then as well as we'll be doing some, Alan's going to coordinate some contract room with some other breweries as well. So it's a kind of like a brewery incubator program that we'll have really set up to get other breweries started and save money in the beginning.
Yeah. We want to try some beers?
I would love to. I was hoping you would ask.
All right.
Let's start with the light stuff. It's a collaboration beer with a chef who was just recently on a local chef here in Portland who was on the show Top Chef, Asian style rice lager. So Gabriel, his last name is Pascuzzi. We called it Koozie Companions. His favorite beer is actually Height Korean Lager, actually. And he came to us and said, hey, I love Height Korean Lager. Can you recreate it? And our answer was, no. Like, that's somebody's recipe. We're not trying to be that other brewery. It's a great beer. I actually love that beer myself. And I said, but we'll use it as an inspiration for this beer. Our hopping technique is a little bit different. It's more late edition. So it's Cascade hops that are older variety. They're not the it hop as some people might think, and as today it was back in the day. Yeah. And so, classic. But it is definitely a classic. And just in the amounts that we're using it and where we're using it in the process, it really shines through. It actually, if you taste it, it has like a nice citrusy, but yet clean and light note. It's not overdone, but just for like a nice warm weather lager that complements food, it goes amazing. So this is probably one of my favorite beers to drink when I'm eating sushi and anything that's like that. It's just so clean, so crisp. It's just very refreshing. It's definitely a palate cleanser for sure. A lot of breweries, you know, it's their IPA that's their top selling beer. Our IPA is actually our second top selling beer. Wintertime it's probably first, but in the summertime, we just cannot make enough of this next beer. It's called Pineapple Express. It's a Kolsch style for the base recipe. That's made a lot of beer purists hate us because it's sacrilege to them that we take a Kolsch and put pineapple in it. And my response is, suck it and deal with it. Yeah. So
have another one.
Don't be mad because you like it. We don't go super heavy in the pineapple. It's definitely balanced. I mean, you get it, but you're not drinking pineapple juice by any means. And right now we're teasing John, who's behind the camera, because this is his favorite beer, and he's probably drooling right now as we're drinking this. Big shout outs to Oregon Fruit Products, who actually is our supplier. We buy so much pineapple from them in making this beer.
I had this yesterday, but I was literally 30 beers deep.
Well, you know, it's good whether it's your first beer or 30 beers deep. So it's the beer that's always good. And John's not being shy, as the camera's showing. He couldn't help himself. And it's a big seller at all the Hawaiian restaurants here in town. Thai food, Mexican food, anything that's got a lot of great flavor, barbecue, it goes great. And then just anything that's fatty as well, that pineapple definitely helps to cut that fatty flavor. That's pretty much how we actually design our beer. We kind of design it like a chef designs a recipe, actually. And for us, we try to do balance. We don't like to do, you know, there's a lot of fruit beers that are very like Kool-Aid, you know, like you think you're just drinking juice. And our thing is we want to make sure you still know you're drinking beer, but we want to bring something different to that beer to balance it out.
But it's just so damn fresh.
Yeah, thank you. The next beer is, this is another collaboration beer. We partnered with a company here in Portland called The Tao of Tea, a tart farmhouse that has sencha green tea, and then the essential oils from passion fruit and mango in it as well. It's called Kiki Oh, which means burst of passion. Lei was a great person to partner with in the naming of this beer. Tried to bring cultural awareness to about the Hawaiian culture, the language, and everything else. So they do anything from hula, they have a hula halau, and then the Hawaiian olelo, which is the language. It's won several awards as well, like our Pineapple Express. It's definitely a beer that goes well with food or just in warm weather. Once again, it's in balance. So you're not drinking Kool-Aid or fruit punch. It's definitely, it's there to complement the beer. You still get the malt, you're still drinking beer. But
I like about the pineapple as well. Like,
the
malt comes through.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, still in beer territory.
Most definitely. Yeah. All right, the next one, which
this might be the best one.
It might be.
The whole trip.
And it was the whole reason for the trip, I think, right? And we've already had plenty of it on the canning line as well. This is our collaboration beer called Nice One. There's some local breweries here who have done a cold IPA and have brought that out, and it's definitely created some hype on the internet. We actually are using a lager strain in this beer. We are fermenting at a little bit warmer temperatures that this yeast strain would typically be fermented at, and we actually are stepping up the temperature over a period of days as well. And then, and what that basically does is going to bring out a lot of the esters from the yeast. It's still cooler than an L fermentation. So basically, what we did is we took a recipe that was a SoCal IPA recipe that we then fermented like a cold IPA. And so what you're getting basically is super light malt bill, and then you're also getting some great hop character to it. One of the key things is that I was already thinking of using Sabro hops, so when we came into contact, you were like, oh, I love Sabro, can we use Sabro hops? So that's what sealed the deal for us, is like, Sabro is definitely going to be the hop that we're going to use in this. So.
Amarillo is just my favorite hop.
Yeah, is it?
Vacuum, but like lately, Sabro. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's an auto order for me. If I
Yeah.
go to a bar and I'm like, oh, Sabro hop, yep, whatever that is.
Yeah, so it's actually a blend, but Sabro is the focus, but we did a blend of hops just to kind of round that flavor out.
Has Azaka in there.
Has Azaka as well. There's a little bit of mosaic just to kind of round it out as well. And yeah, that is so clear.
So we've been drinking it from the can.
Yeah, which is funny because here, you know what? Just to make John jealous, let's just top these off, and so there's none left for him. And oh wait, there's a few drops, John. You can have the can. The Pineapple Express, of course. Well, for something like this, you're always like, oh man, I really hope it turns out good. I don't want to lie on camera. But this is actually a fantastic beer. Very pleased with the way it turned out. So our next one is our flagship IPA. Grote can mean club or bar, and we felt we were setting the bar high with this IPA.
Okay.
The other double meaning is a slang word that we were very well aware of, and it doesn't necessarily mean that's why we named it. What I wanted to do with this one is be a little bit different, and I wanted to recreate the malt bill of like old school or even like English IPAs, but not so heavy on the malt, because otherwise it distracts from the hops and they don't shine through.
Yeah.
So the challenge. Yeah, and our challenge was, how do we get malt backbone without being super malty? And then let's use modern hopping techniques with this beer. It was probably 5 or 6 revisions into this before we've settled onto what it is now. I feel this is like an IPA that definitely pairs well with food as well, or camping. It doesn't matter. Like honestly, I'll crush this just sitting at the house while I'm working at my home office or yard work or at the pool or anything. I actually have a good friend of mine that was my neighbor. It's his favorite IPA out there. It's his favorite beer, and Josh actually he bought a truck and he named this truck El Grote, actually, just because of this beer. It's his favorite beer. So this is to you, Josh. Thank you so much for being a big fan and friend. Last but not least, a Hazy IPA. We always rotate our hazy recipes. If we do make a Hazy IPA a second or a third time, it's definitely spaced out. The Haze boys, as we call them, or the Hazy IPA lovers, they don't like to drink the same IPA, same hazy all the time. They always want to try something different, so we always rotate. This one here is actually has orange, lime, and then for hops it's Calista and Cashmere. The fruit it's all citrus fruit, so there's definitely citric acid in it, and it really gives the first sip after what we've been drinking. You're gonna be like, woo! It's a sour beer. It's a punch. And it's not a traditionally aged sour, it's really from the citric acid. The second sip is like, oh wait, now I like it. Super thick, super hazy. Here in Oregon, I probably would say I speak for...
allowed to have some?
He wants more Pineapple Express, I guarantee it. What do you want, John? What we'd like to do is we like to make our hazy IPAs. We don't call them New England IPAs because they're not sweet like that. We're not, most of us out here, there's a few, most of us out here are not adding like lactose and other things into it and all these crazy like dessert pastry IPAs. So there's some, but for the most part, most of us are trying to make them on the drier side, like a West Coast IPA. But you're getting a lot of those proteins though still in it to create the haziness and the body and the mouthfeel to it. So there's no flour powder in here or whatever people have said in the past. But it's just truly just based on all the flaked grains that we're using in this. We may not make all the beer nerds happy, but the foodies, that's I think why we have been so popular and why we've grown so much. We've probably been written about in more food and culinary magazines and publications rather than beer publications, just because some of the things we do is really food oriented. We've always approached our beer almost like a chef does with food, and it's been very great for us. We've been in some of the most finest, restaurants in town, all the way down to the little hole in the walls. One of the things I love to brag about is we are in the Yam Hill Pub here in Portland. If you haven't been, John should take you. It is probably the epitome of what a hole in the wall bar is. Some people get scared when they walk in and walk out. It's that much of a hole in the wall. I personally love it. But yet, we've also been in the most finest restaurants in town. So you know, I have nothing to complain about.
Well, shit. Thanks for pouring all these beers.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for coming out and enjoying and helping to can. All right, cheers, guys.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
great one.
All right, this is the last segment of the whole season of hopping.
Okay.
And we're both on it together.
Hi, I'm Damien from the Brew Happy Show.
Yeah. Subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, check it out.
And this is the end.
Yeah,
This was hopping.
we're checking out Portland. It's a beautiful day, very sunny, as you can see.
Yep, Denver to Portland.
Yeah.
Successfully hitchhiked and drank a bunch of beer. Damn, this is your truck. Sweet.
Yeah.
So
Now we're
actually,
on to our
I'm
next ride.
basically hitching a ride right now. And till next season, y'all. Love you. Beer.